Welcome back to ASEAN News, everyone. We have prepared some latest updated news for you, and here they are. Police detain suspect of former Japanese Prime Minister Abe, sent to prosecutors.
The man arrested for Japanese former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's killing was sent to prosecutors on Sunday, July 10th, for allegedly murdering Japan's former leader. Tetsuya Yamagami, an unemployed 41 years old, was identified by police as a suspect who approached Japan's longest-serving prime minister from behind and opened fires and attack that was captured on video and shocked a nation where gun violence is rare. Police told local media that Yamagami believed the former Japanese leader was linked to a religious group he blamed for his mother's financial ruin and spent months planning the attack with a homemade gun. Wiry and bespectacled with shaggy hair, the suspect was seen stepping into the road behind Abe, who was standing on a riser at an intersection before unloading 2 shots from a 40 cm long, 16-inch weapon wrapped with a black tape. He was tackled by police at the scene. Meanwhile, Tokyo locals were seen offering prayers in front of Abe's Tokyo residence, where his body is currently kept.
Japan hold election after Abe killing ruling party set for strong showing.
Japanese voters go to polls for a parliamentary election that may give the ruling Liberal Democratic Party a surge of support after the assassination of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, a dominant politician and a power broker. Office worker Mikaito, 55, says she came to vote hoping that this election could make what Abe had done for the country worthwhile. There may be more people who will vote for the Liberal Democratic Party. The assassination was a shocking incident, so I think people have many thoughts, but I hope they can vote based on their own decision.
I think Abe has thought a lot about this country, and I hope this election can make his efforts worthwhile.
Elections for seats in Parliament's less powerful upper house are typically seen as a referendum on the sitting government, and opinion polls before the assassination is already pointed to a strong showing for the ruling bloc led by Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and Abe protégé. Polls opened at 7 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. when initial exit poll results are expected.
Thai, Singaporean, Cambodian leaders pay tribute to former Japan Prime Minister Shinzo Abe.
Leaders of Thailand, Singapore, Cambodia pays respects to the late former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe on the day of his funeral held on July 12, who was shot dead last week during an election rally. Thailand Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha, his Singaporean and Cambodian counterparts Lee Hsien-loong and Hun Sen each visited the Japanese ambassadors' residences in their respective countries to sign condolences books. Prayut had earlier posted that Abe's passing was like losing a great friend and praised his lifelong dedication to public service.
Antony Blinken met Thailand's Prime Minister to expand cooperation and discuss on Myanmar crisis.
United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Thailand Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha in Bangkok. The State Department says Blinken's meeting with Prayut also discusses on the crisis in Myanmar and expanding cooperation. Earlier week, Blinken met Thai Foreign Minister Don Pramudwinai and Myanmar youth leaders. The State Department affirms after Thailand, Blinken will make a previously unscheduled stop in Tokyo to offer condolences to the Japanese people after the killing of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe.
Antony Blinken urges China and ASEAN countries to hold Myanmar accountable.
United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken calls China and members of the Southeast Asian bloc ASEAN to put pressure on Myanmar's rulers to return to democracy and to hold it accountable to a peace deal agreed with the group.
But look, at this point, I think a few things. One, all countries have to continue to speak clearly about what the regime is doing in its ongoing repression and brutality. We have an obligation to the people of Burma to hold the regime accountable. Regional support for the regime's adherence to the five-point consensus developed by ASEAN is also critical. That has not happened, and I think all the ASEAN countries need to hold the regime accountable for that. To continue to demand an immediate cessation of violence, the release of political prisoners, and a restoration of Burma's democratic path.
Speaking at a news conference in Bangkok during a tour of Asia, Blinken calls on members of the ASEAN to hold Myanmar's government accountable to the five-point consensus peace agreement.
With regard to Sri Lanka,
ASEAN's 9 members and Myanmar junta chief Min Aung Hlaing in April last year signed an agreement that included immediate cessation of violence and dialogue among all parties.
Around the world,
Blinken refers to food insecurity in Asia, saying that Russia's invasion of Ukraine could continue to contribute to the food insecurity in the region. With Black Sea ports blockaded by Russia, he warned for rising costs for farmers. The State Department says after Thailand, he will make a previously unscheduled stop in Tokyo to offer condolences to the Japanese people after the killing of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe.
China encourages stronger ties with Philippines to resolve maritime disputes.
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi calls Philippines to strengthen both ties during a meeting with Philippines counterpart Enrique Manalo in Manila. Wang calls for a new golden era in the country's relationship, adding that it's even more important for both countries to strengthen mutual trust and cooperation. Wang is visiting Southeast Asia at a time when Philippines' ally, the United States, is seeking to boost its influence in the region.
Well, that's the whole news for today. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. We will see you soon.